Right edition. Liberals, they call other people names all of the time whenever they run out of ammunition with regard to what to say, and they lie, and they're always blaming other people for things that they don't deserve the blame for. Now, in particular, I'm talking now about guns, gun control. Gun control, of course, we've talked about that so many times, or I have, and it's not about gun control, it's about people control, and don't try to control the people who didn't do a bad thing. Kind of the old story, hey, here's a military background check system that recently just failed miserably, as did the government's other systems. This is with regard to the Navy Yard shooting, and the Navy Yard shooter himself, he was a troubled man. He had a very troubled past, and his ability to pass government security check system or not pass it, because he shouldn't have, but he did. And it now prompts all kinds of thoughts and different things. How did he pass? What kind of people are checking these things? And the background checks, how are they actually conducted? Here's a guy with his past. Again, not only is it troubled, it's just checkered with gunfire. That kind of goes with trouble. I get it, but you know what? It's just a bad thing. What a history. And here's a guy that passes the test. So the problem isn't guns. We all know that. The problem is the bad people, the people who they're mentally disturbed. They shouldn't have guns. The government's job, and they've let us down. You got crazies out there walking around with loaded guns. The government's job is to make sure that doesn't happen. And all they do is blame other people all of the time. Within minutes of this terrible tragedy, you have people like Piers Morgan and other liberals on television saying, ban guns, we have another gun tragedy here. It's their fault. Are they smart enough to actually do this on purpose, just trying to get the public on their side? I don't know. I sure like to think that they wouldn't do such a thing, and I don't think they're very smart. A little bit of verbiage there. Now, Canadians in Canada, they are forced to take an oath to the Queen as a condition of citizenship, and that's now recently been ruled constitutional, even though it does violate free speech. So I guess the message there is if you don't want to, swear an allegiance to the Queen, don't move to Canada. They are a part of the Commonwealth. Doesn't make any sense. 80% of all people in Canada, repeatedly over the years in polls, a variety of different polls have said, we don't want to be part of the monarchy. Many have said, not unlike myself, I like the Queen, but she belongs in England. She's English. She shouldn't be over here. If you want monarchy in Canada, you should have King Charles, and he should live in Ottawa, or something like that. So it ain't going to happen, right? And it's in the Constitution, though, that you got to say, I swear. And a lot of people are upset about that. Government, why don't you fix it? Why don't you get rid of the monarchy in Canada? Go do what the people want. That would be unique. Save $100 million a year just with the Governor General. You have a federal one, you have provincial ones. The budgets are outrageously high. And these people, what is it they do? Not very much. They're the conduit to the Queen, apparently. And apparently she's in charge of our world being here in Canada. And somebody better fix it and get a man on it. The other day in Canada, in British Columbia, I went for a bicycle ride. I was riding my mountain bike, and I rode probably 2 hours. That's quite a few miles. And there were several signs that I saw on the sign that said, warning, bears in area, use caution. How about use a gun and don't use caution? You're not allowed legally, though, to protect your life in Canada. You can't even have a firearm with you if you pass all the tests and you're responsible. And you kind of want to go out and be safe. You're not allowed to. You can't even take bear spray because you might, in a fit of anger, use that against another humanoid. And there's also signs up in Kelowna. It says, warning, cougar sightings in area. What's up with all that? Of course, you're in the mountains. Of course, there's cougars and of course there's bears, but you're not allowed to defend your life, and people do get attacked and all of that stuff. My God almighty, we got a government out of control. We got a people that want things that the government won't give them. Can you imagine have to beg your government to protect your life and so many other things? I'm getting mad now. In Texas, a schoolgirl there recently was barred from class because she dyed her hair blonde. I think the teachers kind of got to get up the curb here, because that's going on out there today. And if that's the only reason you kicked her out of school, what about all the ones that, you got men wearing women's earrings now, you got tattoos everywhere, you got boys and girls with pants falling off them. You start kicking people out because they don't meet your behavior or your dress code, I guess. You're going to have an empty classroom. Maybe get over that. Thousands and thousands of people don't pay any property taxes in Newfoundland and Labrador in Canada, and because they're not incorporated, that seems interesting. Over 300 communities live tax-free. The people in them, of course, do, because they've been overlooked. Very interesting. I wonder how much longer that's going to last. We'll see. Here's a story today to lighten things up. Are we communicating? Communication is kind of important. A man spoke frantically into the phone. My wife is pregnant, and her contractions are only 2 minutes apart. Is this her first child? The doctor asked. The man paused for a second, then he shouted, no, this is her husband. Y'all come back to ball, we'll get a ball for you. From the right. See ya.